All right, guys, trying something a little bit different this week. Like I've been telling y'all, I've been crazy at work, so I've only had about 45 minutes a day to come out and work on this thing. Working 7 days a week currently, so I'm only getting like 5-6 hours a week. Didn't quite get the full frame paint video finished, and I didn't want to kind of give you guys just a partial video, so I figured I would kind of film this in between the full frame paint video. So I'm just trying it out. Let me know if you like it. Kind of more of a shop talk while I do a couple small things in the shop, so that next week's video will be the full frame paint. So comment down below, let me know if this is kind of what you want, or if you just want me to start giving you what I got and make the videos shorter and just give you, I painted half the frame, and then the following week would be another part of me finishing the frame, so less content. Or would you rather me do these filler videos? So I'm gonna flip this frame over. I've got half of it painted. I got the bottom half completely painted. I'm gonna flip it over, and then I'm gonna give y'all the origin story of this Chevelle. Stay tuned. Okay, let's flip this frame over. Hopefully I can do it without messing the paint up. Side note, while I'm waiting to lower this down, if y'all have never seen these lifts before, you got to check them out. This particular brand is EAE lifts, and if you're contemplating putting a lift in your shop, I would highly recommend these, because when you're not using them, they're flush with the concrete and completely out of the way. Pretty cool stuff. And the lift rating is 7,700 pounds. If you're wondering how heavy a frame like this is, I know I'm only lifting one side, but I'd say it's probably 300 pounds. Something like that. So much for not scratching it. Shouldn't be too bad though. We'll call that good. Now that it's flipped over, I can go through and clean this thing, get it prepped. Only got a little bit left to paint. Like I said, it's just the top side. Painted everything except for the inside of here and the top of all of this. Everything else is painted. So that's what I'm working on next. So that'll all be in the next video. But like I said, since I got you guys out here, I figured I would chat about how the Chevelle came to be. And if you haven't seen the Chevelle and you're just stopping in here now, it's more than just a frame. Behind you right here is the Chevelle body. Done a bunch of work to that. I got it covered up right now to try to keep some of the filth off of it. But go check out some of those other videos if you want to see the Chevelle build in the body. New floor pans, both sides, new seat pan, trunk braces, underfloor braces, did a little bit of roof work. Very novice stuff, in my opinion, compared to what a lot of the people are doing, but I'm just giving it a shot. So the story behind the Chevelle. I got this car, and it was technically my first car. I got it when I was 14 years old. Picked this car up from Bristol, Virginia. Guy I got it from was doing like a mild drag racing build with it. Had 411 gears in the rear, had a small block 350. And it was rotten. I'll throw a picture up of the day I got it back. It was baby blue. We'll put it up on the screen here. That was 14-year-old me, excited as could be about getting my first car. yeah, I was super excited. The whole idea, you know, big dreams was to do basically what I'm doing now, but when I was 14 with no money. So started taking the thing apart. Of course, at that time, I couldn't do any of the work, so I was trying to source the work out to different shops. In the meantime, found a 72 El Camino for sale. I'll put a video up of that, or a picture up of that. And that car had a 12 bolt in the rear, disc brakes in the front, and it was cheap. I think a guy wanted like $1,000 for it. So I was like, well, perfect. I'll go get that car, and that'll be the rear end and the disc brakes for the front, because this was a Malibu. The Chevelle was a Malibu, or is a Malibu, and had drum brakes all around. So got that car. I was probably 15 when I got that car. Brought it back and never really needed the parts yet, so the car was just sitting there. I was getting closer to driving, turned 16. Looking at that car, it was technically a complete car, so I was like, well, let's see what the deal is. Maybe I could get this thing running, and that could be my first driving car. Ended up having just a really, really worn out small block 350 in it. I mean, it was just cooked, but it ran. So did a tune-up on it, and that 72 El Camino was actually the first car. I consider it my first car, because that was the first car I actually started driving. So I drove that all through high school, while this car sat in the background getting worked on by Joe, that somebody knew in the back of the county, that did good work out of the back of his shed. So some of the parts from the Chevelle started migrating over to the El Camino, because I was driving that. And that thing was so worn out, I was replacing spark plugs every Friday night just so I could go out on the town and have a good time. It was worn slam out. So I'm driving that. This thing gets put on the back burner. It goes to a couple of different shops. I did manage to get rear quarters put in it. A very sloppy job. They put the trunk pan in it, and then it basically just sat untouched in this dude's shop, and I didn't see it for years. Fast forward to me around graduation. I actually lost contact with the dude, couldn't get a hold of him anymore. So one day I just showed up to get the Chevelle back, and it was in this current state. If you go back to my first video in like October, that's how I picked the car up. Yellow primer, everything taken apart on it. Just that's how it was. So I picked the car up, aggravated, mad. I'm like 18. I can't remember where I took it. I brought it somewhere first, and then I bought my first home at 21 and brought the car there. Got the car there, it just sat some more, and then later on when we bought this property and we were building this house, I took the car down to my father-in-law's house, it sat there, and then when we moved in here, I brought it up here, and it sat exact same spot, never moved in the last 6 years to the very first video on the channel of the Chevelle. That's the position it sat in. I cut grass around it. That's where the snakes started living in the car. So my thought was, if they're living in this car, at least they're not living in the ones I'm driving. So I let them live in the car like I had a choice. So it sat and sat and sat. I did a bunch of other projects, and then this year came around, and I finally was thinking, you know what, it's time for me to get this car out. So that's when I pulled this thing out of the woodwork, and I've been tearing it apart. Little blip that I missed, the motor that was in this car when I first got it ended up in the El Camino when I redid the El Camino. Some guy ran into the back of me in the El Camino, so a bunch of the parts that I've been saving for this, I ended up putting into the El Camino because most of them transfer over. And the motor was worn out, so I thought, why not yank the motor out of this one? I'm not using it, so technically the Chevelle motor's in the El Camino. So that's the short story of where this car kind of started with me. It came from Bristol. I toted it from house to house. Took it to some guy's shed. He did a little bit of work on it, and then basically just lost half the parts for it. Got it when I was 14. I've had it for over 20 years. It landed at this house. It's been sitting over in my side yard as an ornament, and I'm finally catching all the stuff and throwing it on the car. Trying to put it together and make a decent cruiser for the family, because my daughter's now 9 months old. So we used to take motorcycle trips all the time, but with her being so young, can't really take motorcycle trips anymore. So I was like, you know, stupid me, I'm thinking, what cool vehicle could we take on road trips now? And I was like, the Chevelle could be that car. Something cool, something fun, something unique, but we could fit in it and we can enjoy it. I could put AC in it and heat, and we can go travel and have some fun experiences with that. So that's kind of what this build's turned into. So, yep, taking this Chevelle Malibu 1972 and turning it into like a street cruiser. And that's hopefully what I can turn all of this into. But I can't stand when a project takes years and years and years to work on and finish, this being one of them. So my idea was, and I put this kind of fake timeline on myself, I probably shouldn't, but that's kind of how I get stuff done. October came around, I was like, I'm gonna do this build, but I gotta set a goal. And I was like, well, let me build it over the winter time. So I was like, all right, Chevelle winter build. I'm gonna set the goal of driving the car to work, because of course I talked to all of my buddies at work about the car. And they're like, oh, you're gonna be working on that thing for like the next 5 years, especially since I just had a baby. I was like, well, you know what? There's a challenge right there. I'm gonna drive this car in May before she turns 1 year old. And they're like, yeah, right, not gonna happen, you know, old dude talk. So I was like, all right, definitely, I'm gonna do it now. It might not be complete. It's definitely not gonna be complete. It might not have interior in it. Might not even have windshield in it, but I'll throw some goggles on it, and the goal is to drive this car from my house to my work sometime in May before my daughter turns 1. So that's the goal. I'm shooting for it. It's a hefty goal because 30 days, as of right now, these 30 days, I'm at work 7 days a week, so I got 45 minutes a day, so that really hinders me getting this done and a bunch of other stuff going on. And still trying to spend time with the family and do house projects on top of everything. So it's a hefty goal, but I'm hoping I can keep the momentum up, keep putting videos out for you guys, and get this car together, running and driving-ish, enough where I can take a short trip in it in May. So that's the goal. This is the video I was thinking about putting together, and hopefully y'all like a little bit of the story time. I got tons of stories I can put in between the bigger videos. But let me know if you like it, because if you don't like it, I won't make it anymore, and I'll just put shorter videos out of whatever I got done that week. So it won't be the big videos that y'all have been used to, but it'll be shorter videos. So let me know if you like this style, because I got stories on everything. So if you see something around, go back a couple videos, you can see I got a bunch of projects. I could tell you more about the El Camino. I've had 48 vehicles since I started driving. So, and that's not like bought and sold vehicles, that's running, driving, titled, registered, 48 vehicles. It doesn't include tractors and trailers and four-wheelers and dirt bikes. That is cars and motorcycles. I've had 48. I currently have like 10 or 11 of them right now, all running, driving, tag, titled, registered. So got lots of funny little stories about all that. So let me know if this is something you like. If not, and if you tell me it's something you don't like, I won't make them anymore. I'll just stick to the Chevelle content. But if you do like it, I got a bunch of stuff to talk about. So appreciate you watching. Catch you next Sunday. It'll hopefully be the full paint video be popping out. So now you're seeing it in the middle. You'll see the beginning, middle, and end in the next video. So appreciate it. Thanks. Give us a subscribe if you like this stuff. Catch y'all in the next one.